found an article that I thought was fairly controversial in terms of 2018. It was saying that kids that played video games for 1 hour a week showed higher cognition abilities. But then it was saying that for kids that play video games for extended hours, like a day or even a week, it said that those kids showed higher levels of things like attention deficit disorder. They were shown to be more volatile, especially towards parental figures, and they didn't exhibit any social construct, meaning that they just, they didn't have the outside experience of interacting with people. If you're doing fine in school and everything's going well, there's no reason why you can't play video games, as long as it's, restricted.
Exactly.
But this study is saying that by doing that, you're basically harming the child, and I don't think I agree with that.
No, that's an aggressive statement to say that if I can't consider there being a specific amount of hours, exact number, where the kid's like, I'm smart and cognitive, and then, oh wait, no, I'm dumb and I don't listen to my parents. I don't think there's a special number a week. I know every kid's so different, and your situation, there's so many variables to this, for one thing. I mean, how the kid grows up and where is his location, nature versus nurture, and that makes a kid not want to pay attention to his parents and do the stuff that he needs to do. I can see that maybe those kids also happen to sometimes play video games, which means you can make like a collection between those two, but I don't know if I don't know if I believe in that.
What this study actually kind of reminded me of was that study that came out, a couple of years ago, that was saying video games are making kids more violent. And
that was a political thing.
Yeah, no, but then you look at the data and it's just like it's the complete opposite.
Yeah,
that we've never been less violent.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, there are still terrible things going on in the world, but what I kind of, when I saw the study, I kind of associated it to your loss of sense of reality.
Okay.
Because like when you're immersed in these video games, and you're there for 6-8 hours at a time, because I mean what's it called? So you can get like that Mountain Dew Red or the Code Red stuff, because you're gonna play like a full day's worth of video games, which happens for some people. And what I was thinking, it didn't say it in the study, but this is kind of what I thought. They were saying, how there's lower level cognition. I think it's because you're so immersed in this video game that you start to disconnect yourself from the real world. You know what I mean? Like, think about like all these games where you can make like your own avatar.
Yeah.
You try to make that person as closely related to yourself, or whatever it is that you want to be, and then instead of you lose the construct of what the real world is, because you don't like being cemented here. You want to go back to the imagined one, because it's what you want to be. So by letting kids play these absurd number of hours a day playing video games, I think that's what the problem is, and that's why there's this issue with children being disrespectful towards parental figures, because they just don't care. They want to do whatever they can to get back into the video game.
Okay, so I'm sure there's a connection between those two. But again, remember, we did the exact same thing, and we didn't end up that way.
Yeah, but we didn't start that way. I mean, we didn't get Halo until we were like, what, 15 maybe? And then by the time we started playing Halo, we had already built upon the ideas of what we want to be. You know what I mean? Because think about it. I mean, the consciousness test, where you put like a sticker on a kid's forehead, and if they can look in a mirror and see themselves, then that they know that that's me.
Yeah.
And from that point forward, it's like you said, nature versus nurture. You start to become who you are based off of the experiences that you have. By the time you get like 15, I mean, think a couple thousand years ago, when you were 6, you went off to train as a soldier in Sparta. And even go back a couple hundred years ago, you had 14 and 15-year-olds killing each other in wars. So by the time you reach that age, Are you a fully developed person? Absolutely not. But are you starting to piece together who you are? Absolutely. You know, those like your high school years. So the fact that video games are so readily available, I think, is a problem in today's society, because I mean it's basically like going to the casino every single day. Think about it. Even on your phone, like if you're playing freaking what's the one game called Candy Crush? Yeah. Think about it. Like if you're playing Candy Crush, right? When you watch all those things explode and everything, I don't know about you, but that looks exactly like the kind of things that you see on like a slot machine. You know what I mean? You get you do this one thing and you get this huge payout, and you have the same kind of reaction to it as you would if you were at a casino, because you want this huge payout. And think about video games, right? You put all this effort in, you do all this stuff, you put in hours of time because you want this huge reward at the end.
I don't know if that's a reach or not to say that people that play video games are more likely to bet and gamble.
I mean, I wouldn't put those two things together. I'm just saying that video games are like, going to the casino, because you're engaging the same parts of the brain.
That's true. Well, okay. So with video games, you have high hand and eye coordination end up still being important.
Right.
So, meaning, if anybody doesn't completely understand that, like I can do things with my hands by looking at something without looking at my hands.
Right.
Which is really important in life, So it was actually pretty funny. So it was my son's birthday yesterday, or it was his birthday on the 2nd, but he had his party yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
He got remote control cars. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna play with this more than him, right? So
yeah.
I just remote control car, and I'm like flipping around, going through the house, turning. I was like, and then he got 2 of them. So I gave one to my fiance and her sister. They look like children trying to make turns. It was hilarious. So it makes you think like, all those games, I'm able to instantly pick something up back, and they're like, wait a minute, how do I know if I'm forward or backwards? Do I do it opposite because the car is facing? Like they have to think about that, instead of naturally doing it and thinking, oh, this is obvious. So it is, some skills do carry over, and maybe there is a new skill, a new job will come up with that it's easily carried over, and we can actually take advantage of this. But
that's true. I mean, because the world is changing. For better or for worse, it is going in a mechanical direction. Mm-hmm. And I think by having kids associated with technology so early, in a way, it really is helping the child as it moves forward. Because, I mean, social construct changes all the time. And obviously the world is so different now, even from what it was even back when we were kids. Mm-hmm. And that does have a heavy, influence on the fact that there is so much more technology now than there was back then.
Right.
But with how, think about it, there's no middle class anymore. All the jobs are starting to switch over to these automated systems. So if you have, your kid kind of practicing these skills early, maybe in a way you're helping them. Because I don't want to say that we should parent differently, like try to implement the old with the new, because mm-hmm. I don't want us to lose the idea of what it means to be a person. But at the same time, we probably should be giving our, this generation the best chance it has to succeed. Because think about it, that's your job as a parent, right? As a parent, your sole job is to make sure that your kid lives a better life than you did.
That's true.
Are you on the more technology side or the less technology side? Because I don't know about you, but when I have kids, I want to take my kids like camping and stuff. But at the same time, maybe I should try to implement some more technology.
As of now, as far as we know, there's only going to be more technology from here on out.
Yeah, that's true.
They're going to be teaching us. Their learning curve they're going to be faster at it. They're naturally going to be better at it.
We're going to end up being the grandparents. Like whenever my grandma tries to take a picture. Have you ever? Oh my gosh, it's insane. It's 10 minutes of Okay, everybody smile. But Mom, the flash isn't on. Hold on.
Oh.
Which button do I press? The one big one. How do I turn the flash on? You just got to lift the thing. Why aren't you using your cell phone to do this? I feel like by the time like Charlie's like in his teens, he's gonna be doing that with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, what is this hologram? Where are the buttons? Why aren't there buttons?
Charlie, where are the damn buttons? Dad, you don't need the buttons. Just wave your hand.
Why?
Back in my day, we used buttons like a real man.
Like a real man. And if it broke, you bought a new one, or you fixed it.
Just wave your hands, Dad. Who am I waving at? Who's there?
Who's there? Hi.
Hello? It's a video, Dad. Put the camera down. Hello?
Video.
I mean, think about this whole Tide Pod, just idiocy.
I don't know what that was. That was America going through this funny phase.
Because they wanted to get views on YouTube. So like they're just like, hey, let me eat this chemical. Let me take this thing that will clearly kill me and eat it.
Even College Humor did something on it.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that was so funny. Oh,
See?
my gosh. Okay, but they were like, oh my gosh, I'm part of the system. They weren't literally eating the Tide Pods.
Not literally, no.
Oh my gosh, and that's the thing too. In terms of even like Star Power today, like there was a study that came out. It's so funny. I read this like last week. There's a study that showed that kids today find YouTube stars more appealing than movie stars because they like having the just like this readily available source of this is who this person is. You know what I mean?
How can you blame them? You know, like if you really wanted to, you can message that very exact YouTube on his YouTube page, and maybe he might respond. You're not gonna do that.
Well, better than getting ignored.
Yeah.
Seriously, I mean, because all these YouTubers like try to like implement their fans and everything, and the most successful YouTubers are the ones that communicate with their fans all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah, I could see that being better. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They don't make as much money as actors, but
no, and YouTube has really evolved. You know, maybe a little too much, in fact. Where like because some of the things that you can watch on YouTube are like actual series. Made by a fan, someone that wanted to do it just because, and it ends up being a thing like Team 4-Star. When they started out, they were just doing it for fun. But I don't know about you, but I love Team 4-Star.
Mm-hmm.
Or Dude Perfect. I watch a ton of Dude Perfect.
Oh yeah,
and even their news shows and everything, which has translated into TV. But anyway, make sure you guys check us out next time. And also, make sure to leave down in the comments what you guys want us to talk about.
Yeah.
We always scour the internet for some really cool things, but maybe there's something you guys want to hear in particular. Anyway, my name's Jason.
My name's Alex.
And we will talk to you guys next time.
Peace.